Hello YouTube, welcome to my house repairs. I have the air conditioning problem. It turns on, works, but it doesn't blow a cold air. So I did call around. So some people they check it, they can't find no leak. Then they give me a crazy charge for repairs or for the new unit. To install the new unit, it was costing between 4 to 7,000. That's a lot of money, especially when you know that the part it costs about like $2,000 for the new part. Good man is 3 tons. I think is 14 something. So, not sure the name, but the same specs that they gave me for the 7,000. It costs about like between 2,000 to 2,400. So I did check the capacitor here. I checked the wiring, checked the board, anything burned, broken traces, and that's before I called the people and they check here. Push this a little quick. So to check, use like a screwdriver or so, because you don't want the freon to blow in your hand. Is very cold. Yeah, it may cause like a cold burning. So that's how you check it. And this felt like it's very low in the freon. So I was sure like there is a leak, but two people they couldn't find a leak. Then I contacted a guy and he offered to do the refill for $100, and he did refill it. Then I asked him to check for the leak after that, and yeah, we find there is a leak here in this spot. Yeah, you can see rusty in the accumulator. Right over there it was a hole. We put some water with the soap and it was like bubbling. Yeah, the same way like you check the tires for the leaks. So I did pay $100. Next day the freon gone. So I asked him how much to change the accumulator, and he said it's gonna be like, I think it's $670 to $700. That's the accumulator part number. I don't know if you can see it. So I stuck on between I pay $700 for this old unit. This is about like 20 years old or 18 years old, and paying $6,000 or $7,000 for a good unit for someone to install it for me. I did check the part online, eBay. Most of us we like to do the repair by ourselves, save us some money, and you learn something new and keep you busy. And they found a accumulator, the same model number in the Amazon for it was about like $70, and I applied for the Amazon card and it did give me like $50 off. So the total with the shipping, I think I pay like 30 something for the new one. And I'm gonna try to do the solder. I'm not gonna do the breeze-in here. I'm gonna do the solder, because I did see some videos. People did do the solder on the new unit. The solder is required just the low heat, then breeze-in. And as I do electronics, I feel comfortable doing the soldering that, then breeze-in. And I ordered the vacuum the vacuum pumps and with the gauges and the leak detectors. And I ordered the Freon 25 25 pound, and all that it costs about like almost $300. So half price what I was gonna pay for the someone to come fix it, plus I'm gonna learn new, cause in case if this unit is anything happen to it in the future, like get more leak or stop working, I can order the new unit for the maximum is 2500 for everything, the outside and the inside unit, plus the pipes, the copper pipes, all the parts is neat, and that will save me over 60 or 70% of the price that I'm gonna pay someone. And the knowledge, you learn something new to do it by yourself, so you don't be like calling the people and first. So here, let's start the process. First I'm gonna cut this one here, and this one is held by the screw on the bottom, and I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna wait for the new one to you can see I did paint it trying to cover the rust, but that didn't work. So there is a deep rust here, and that's what has caused the hole. So I'm just gonna use my saw, and in the end I'm gonna show you all the tools that's needed for that. All right, so the tools that we need for this job, gonna need a new accumulator. This is the old one, the new one was over there. Accumulator regular price is about like 70 something dollar. You're gonna need the Freon 410A. I'm gonna use it beside the R22 because it's not in use anymore and very expensive. You're gonna need this one if you want it, like this is a leak detector. So the old accumulator, it was about like 10 ounce oil in it. So after I check the old accumulator and I dumped the old oil, I was looking for an oil that can mix with the old one. And this is what I did use, and this one it's worked fine for me. Some people suggest to use this one, PAG 46, but this one it doesn't mix with the oil it was in the accumulator, and when you try to mix it, the oil is get very thick. So I didn't use this one, so I don't want that oil to get thicker in the compressor. So this oil, it works fine. This one here is about like it was almost $10. This leak detector, it can detect the R410A and other ones, other Freons. This one I pay like $26. For the 410A I pay 160. So you're gonna need a scale. so you can wait the freon before and after, so you to know how much you're gonna use. So my unit, it was taking 7 pound, so that's what I did use to get to the 7 pound. These gauges is very important for you to do the vacuum, to watch the vacuum, and for you to fill the freon. So these gauges plus the pumps, I paid $92 for this one. The torch, this one it was 15 bucks. This one here, sandpaper, it was $5. This flux, it was 3 bucks. This one here, I think I paid about like 9 bucks. The propane tank over there is about like $4. This pump here came with the gauges. That's the one was altogether about like 90 bucks. The pump over there. So it's a small size, about 16 or 18 inch. That's how the pump look like. And the pump did a great job, yeah, for the price, because this is the cheapest one in the market. Just clean it good for easy solder. It needs to be shiny copper. So I couldn't record the soldering that I did because the space is too small and I was by myself here. But the process is very simple, and there is tons of the videos that you can watch. Will show you how to do the solder. And the same thing, this is my first time I do the pipe solders, and they just say did follow some advices in the video, and it came good. You can see how it's there is one drop over there. But the good thing, there is no leak. Just you need to clean the pipes good. You need to give them a very good cleaning till it start like shiny. Then you put a little flux around it, and you get the torch and get it hot enough. Don't overheat it, just is gonna need to be hot enough. Then you start apply the solder. Apply the solder all around just little by little. The pipes is gonna the gap is gonna suck all the solder that's needed. So don't put too much solder because you don't want the solder to go inside the accumulator. Or don't overheat it because the solder is gonna keep like dripping inside. You can see, yeah, for the first time I do the solder, wasn't that bad. So I connected the pump, the blue wire the low side is going to go to the big copper pipe, this one here. The red one is going to go to the small pipe. You can see it. You can see the difference here between the size of this one and this one. So you connect to this end that it has, and the yellow hose is going to, this end is going to go to this side. You need to close this one too with this cap. So the blue with the blue, red with the red, and you can see it is vacuuming. I'm going to wait till it's completely vacuumed. Usually it takes about 15 to 30 minutes. That's the yellow hose. You can see it, let's go here. So it's vacuuming, it's going to the 30. Be sure all this is tight. Just use your hand, you don't need to use any wrench. And the other side too. So after that, after it's go all the way to the 30, to the minus 30, I'm going to turn off the pump and turn off these two, and I wait like for a little bit to see if it's going to hold. So it's been over 25 minutes now. I just turn off the pump, and you can see the gauges is a little bit under the 30. So we give it, I'm going to give it like 30 minutes or 1 hour to see if it's going to hold the vacuum or there is some leaks. So look like the gauges is, the unit is holding the pressure, so there is no leak in the solder that we did. That's great. You can see I put a little tape showing where the gauge was, because it was getting me crazy. Like when you look this angle, you see it's different. If you go from this angle, you can just watch here. It depends what the angle you look at, and you're gonna get confused. Is it going down or so? So now it looks like the unit is ready for the freon. So I contact someone to help me put the freon. Someone has a license. It's gonna be here in a minute, and I show you what the search that I did. So for the reading and the gauge, we need the subcooling and superheat. So superheat is reading the blue gauge, and subcooling is reading the red gauge. The gauge, this is the gauge temperature, like where is, because this one here for the R22, where is it here, R22, and you can see here it's telling you like, so the unit is take 7 pounds. That's good for us to know how much we're gonna put in it. Plus something else that's it will help is this, where is it, let me find, over here it said TXV subcooling, it should be 7 degrees. So the difference between the line, the temperature and the line. So I'm going to use my multimeter with the temperature check, this one here, and we're going to put it in the subcooling. Subcooling is the red gauge. So we're going to put it somewhere here, and we should be have the different degrees between here and here. It should be 7 degrees. That's what I think. So plus I have my scale to measure the how much coolant we're gonna put in it. So I'm waiting for the helper, and we go from there. Okay. Now 33.8. So inside. And you keep watching. Here, the water shouldn't be all the way. We keep going like this. So at the first I add about like 1 pound just from this gauge. I was turning just a little bit and keep watching the reflow of from there. You can see it. So when it's like about like maybe reach about like 1 pound, I turn on the unit and I let it go. So it's about like 10 minutes now, and I can see the temperature of this one is rising. That's the hot side, and the cool side it look like is, yeah, I can feel it. It's getting cold here. So there is some heat is going. So it means the unit is charging now and is working. So when we close it, you're gonna see it dropping. Let's check. So this is after I refilled the unit, and I am going to check to see if there is any leak. So let me turn this one on. I'm going to turn it all the way up, so to detect any small leaks. Like there is some water, some moisture here, and look, if it's going to detect even the moisture. Let me see. Yeah, it's detects even the moisture. If I blow on it, it's make a noise too. So it's very sensitive. All right, let's detect. Plus another thing, the oil that I refill this one is make the alarm goes off too. So when I was filling this one with the oil, so sure there is some oil, it's go here in the crack, and you know the oil is not like the water can clean. It stay in that little gap over there. So here we have nothing. Yeah, still all the way up to 7. This man is very sensitive to any. Yeah, there is no leak. It just So another test, we can put the soap and we watch if there is any bubbles. So I'm gonna use some water with the soap, regular soap.
You using that?
Yeah.
Use for the dishes?
Yeah, I can see there is no leak at all. So my solder, there is no leak. So the unit now is completely full and it has a full pressure. And here where it was detecting the alarm was going off, you can see there is no bubbles. Yep. Yep, it's good to go. It was about 88 degree here. It turns on about like over 30 minutes when I start charging it. And now it's at 85 degree, so it's going down. We're gonna see if it's gonna go to the target. Yeah, it's felt cool. I can feel it. Guys, the air conditioner fix it. So the unit's working good now. It is removing the heat. I can feel a lot of heat here. So it's removing the heat from the house quick, especially when the house it was It was without the air for over a week. And yeah, so the total of the parts, it was about like almost $400, but that's better than $750 for paying someone to do the work. And he said they are not sure if it's this old air conditioner is going to show any problems in the future. So I just pick to do it by myself and have someone helping me with the Freon. This is all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and see you next.